folks, and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and welcome back to No Read November. Against all better judgment, we are here once again. As you are probably already aware, or if this is your first time in this special month of the year, this is when we take a break from reading manga to watch live-action anime adaptations.
Whoa.
The pain commences once again.
Yeah. So, this week, we kicked off with Ace Attorney. So, as always, here at the top of the show, we'll talk about our familiarity with what we consumed. I have not personally played any of the Ace Attorney games, but I've gotten a lot of, exposure to it through the cultural zeitgeist, and also Jacob.
Objection!
So, Jacob, tell the people.
I'm fairly familiar with the Ace Attorney series. Unfortunately, because it's all so heavily interconnected, I always insist on going through each of the stories one by one, and I always run out of time right at the last case of Ace Attorney Investigations, which pisses me off because I really like Ace Attorney Investigations and I've still not seen the ending because I refuse to just watch the last case.
This is entirely self-inflicted wounds.
I know! I really should just sit down and finish it.
Skill issue. How about you, Jay? What's your familiarity with Ace Attorney?
I'm so glad you asked. Similarly, I myself have not played the individual games, but definitely have been exposed to the culture, the memes. Can't forget about the memes. And yeah, so completely fresh eyes here to interact.
I'm so sorry. It's so much better.
I was very confused.
It's so much better than this.
And Matt.
So yeah, I, like Jacob, have played the Ace Attorney games. I think I've actually played more Ace Attorney games than him, but I played them longer ago, so I remembered the plot a bit less clearly. I also want to point out that I objected to us doing this because this is a video game movie. The anime is also an adaptation, but I was outvoted.
My favorite part of the anime adaptation is the clip of Edgeworth driving to a case that somebody set to Without Me by Eminem.
Well, honestly fitting for Ace Attorney. I tell you, this is the kind of this is the rare situation where, I really wish they just did a straight adaptation. If they just did, the first, full case, I feel like that would have made for a better movie than mashing together the plot of most of the first game and a chunk of the third.
It felt like it was most of the third game.
It has a bunch of the spirit medium stuff, which is, present in the first game, but not fully. The backstory for the Fae family is not really addressed until Game 3 meaningfully, and they do that plot line, but the nuts and bolts cases are, the first, second, and final cases of Game 1. Which, it makes sense to some degree to do, those specific cases, but,
because it forms a coherent, air quotes, plotline.
So I'll disagree with Jacob here. Counterpoint. They should have just done an original case that was movie length.
Yeah, actually, that's
they should have had
an
investigation stage. Just do a Phoenix Wright case.
When is I don't know if we want to date the episode, but what was the most recent?
The most recent game?
Oh, they come out once every 7 years, so
Yeah,
we're not going to date the episode.
I think the most recent one was the Great Ace Attorney.
Great Ace Attorney sequel was the most recent. Well,
the one with the hot vampire in it, which is all I know.
Not including the remakes, it is Great Ace Attorney sequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the Ace Attorney Investigations games finally got an English release.
Yeah, those also recently got the second one came out was the big thing. So
right, yeah, because the first one came out forever ago. Because that's the one that I keep stopping on.
As always with these adaptations, we run into the catch-22 of, well, either you do stuff that'll be iconic from the original so that goobers can point at the screen and go, I remember that, or you do something original, and then you get the Death Note adaptation, which was good, but panned because it didn't look like the original.
Yeah.
I also want to point out, we appear to be the minority on thinking the Netflix Death Note was, very good as a movie.
I fully fully accepted that it was a good movie, but I had to be vocal about my disappointment because I, grew up with that anime. I love it, and I was very disappointed, but had to, say the actors did a good job.
Yeah, you have the appropriate nuanced response to that, but regardless, like what Matt said about like having it just be a completely original case, that's probably the safest thing to do. Because, it's not like it wouldn't be that hard to like introduce the characters in medias res, and like these are all characters who have already like done cases, and like we already, it's like you don't have to go into too much detail of certain characters' backstories.
They're cartoon characters. They're like personality is on their sleeves.
Yeah. You don't need a lot of lead in for them. So just having original cases, but like the cases are already kind of feature-length movies if you don't make mistakes anyway. The thing that kind of bugs me is that probably the easiest thing to do, and this gives you options for money-grubbing sequels if they're competently made, just do each case as its own movie. Because then you get 5 movies.
Which would let the money grab sequel into the horizon. It's the eternal problem of these adaptations of having their cake and eating it too. Because, like, how are you gonna do Ace Attorney without the parrot?
There.
Let's talk about the parrot. To get into the actual meat of this, we open with, while it is a little bit crazed and
mile a minute, hard to follow unless you know what's going on.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter to the overall plot, so they kind of rush through it, but like, why even include it to a degree?
The opening is interesting from a thematic standpoint because it starts with Mia's mother doing a spirit reading and getting told by the ghost that I was shot by Yanni Yogi. And apparently the afterlife is a series of ghosts walking through a city destroyed by a nuclear bomb with the mushroom clouds still in the distance.
That opening made no sense.
It was striking visually, but it's
very striking for all of the wrong reasons.
I legitimately forgot that was how they depicted the afterlife because it's so out of left field. None of the characters involved had anything to do with any of that.
But there's that, and then we have a bit of a swap back and forth between our two primary characters, Phoenix and Miles. Phoenix is in the middle of doing a case in some little bum, like, 13th District Court, you know. Everything's run down. The janitors are actively sweeping in the middle of the trial.
There's laundry hung up all over the place.
Isn't that his first big case that they said?
Yeah,
I think that was his first case as a trial attorney.
Where he's trying to save his buddy Larry Butts from, I don't even remember what he was accused of.
It was
theft?
It was murder? I'm not sure the movie explicitly states that.
The movie didn't ever say it was... Because it's the first case from the game, is what it is. Because the movie is kind of weird. I'm not 100% sure whether they were trying to go Ace Attorney Goofy over the top, or if they were... I don't know if there was any meaningful attempt to make it grounded, because it's like...
No, it's 100% they are making an anime movie.
Yeah.
The background characters in the court are all wearing, like, colorful...
Goofy costumes.
They look like they came out of a Halloween store. Like,
they look like they're in the middle of a con.
Yeah, that's what I was
They're at a panel, actually.
Yeah. This is an anime panel.
Oh my god, this is a panel.
Yes.
It all makes so much sense.
But it's like, because it can't be as over the top as actual Ace Attorney, it's one of those ones where it's like, my immediate thought was, it's like, are you trying to be a little bit more serious, or are you trying to do the Ace Attorney thing? Ultimately, we sort of came down on the side of, they were trying to be authentic, crazy, over-the-top Ace Attorney. They just couldn't manage it because they couldn't get cartoony enough.
Correct. It's good conceptually, but execution was a little lacking.
Yeah,
confusing, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's honestly impressive that the games balance the tones so well when there is, like, death and murder on the line.
It's because it's in the style that it is, in large part.
It's a cartoon.
They can get away with it. Yeah, they can get away with it because it's a cartoon art style.
But when you actually see Mia's dead body on the floor leaking blood from her head wound...
Yeah.
Or when they do the falling over gag, which works so much better in animation.
Yeah, they do that like sweat drop pratfall, and the first time it happened, I thought like someone had shot up the court because they're all dived to the corner.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like, he said something silly.
Yes. But while Phoenix is in the middle of this, like, shitty little trial, Edgeworth is prosecuting this big, dramatic case in front of everybody in the big house courtroom. So, setting up the gulf between our two heroes.
Yeah.
Not that ever comes up again.
Nope.
They also made an interesting choice, where I guess now is a good enough time to talk about it. They set this in the year 20XX because apparently this is a Mega Man game.
To be fair, the Ace Attorney games do that too.
Kind of, but not the way they did it, because...
I just want to know what the prosecution of Dr. Wily looked like.
I don't know, but evidence is shown on giant holographic monitors for seemingly no reason.
That they can interact with.
In
ways.
Hysterically, when the steampunk tentacle arms descended
And
from
no
the
one
ceiling.
freaked out. This is just a normal thing.
Well, apparently they've been doing it for 15 years, because they used to bring down the giant CRT monitor.
Yeah, the huge CRT monitor like it's 1984 and Big Brother's about to make a presentation.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
You
anyway,
will not f*** the parakeet.
We'll get to that later.
we haven't even brought that up. So anyway, the first actual case is Mia, Phoenix's mentor, had been investigating this DL6 case and had found some evidence that she was interested in. And the entire time she's walking back to her office, she's being followed by this dude. And it's shot as if she's aware she's being followed, but clearly not, because this guy was there.
Mm-hmm.
That is very confusing.
Yeah. They also, we find out later, this man is Red White, but he is not from Blue Corporation, and he is not outrageously American. So...
He's red, white, dressed all in black, because he's a newspaper reporter? He's red, white, he's black and white and red all over? No, that pun doesn't work.
Who knows?
I think they're cannibalizing a character from another case, because I'm remembering Blue Corporation now, but...
Anyway, the point being, Mia is the one who actually saves Phoenix's bacon during the Butts case.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecution of Butt. So in gratitude, Larry gives her the thinker statue, which is actually a clock if you twist his head.
Yeah.
It says the time out of its butt.
Yes.
So, I'll just bring this up now, because this is going to get obnoxious if we have to do this how the movie works. If you know Phoenix Wright the game, you were given a bunch of different clues, and you're supposed to look through all of them to find connections with the testimony. Because this is a movie, they only have time to show you one clue, and then you just need to remember that clue for when the testimony comes up, and then they connect that clue.
This was done well
Once. And it was done really freaking well, too. Actually, considering it's the case that we're talking about, because I think if I recall correctly, they're blending, because they didn't really show any of the, nuts and bolts of Phoenix's first case in the movie. I think they took some of the elements from the first case in the game and combined it with the Mia murder, because in the game the way that the games work is that all of the cases are connected to each other, and the movie only has so much time to work with, so they streamlined a bunch of stuff. The big thing that, is they don't have a villain breakdown, which makes when Von Karma, the movie's main villain, has a breakdown seem like a visual glitch, but we'll get to that later. The bit that they do is that the killer forges Maya's name on the back of a piece of paper, and when they present this initially at the crime scene, you actually can see that it's a receipt with a time on it. They don't even shove it in your face either. It's
like, a receipt from an electronics store.
Yeah, it's subtly framed enough that it actually brought a smile to my face when I'm like, oh wait, when was the because they also have Phoenix thinking there being a lamp that was knocked over and shattered was the big important thing, and Phoenix has a moment of did we have a lamp? I don't remember us having a lamp.
The killer tried to use the lamp as an excuse, in the scuffle, something fell over, and so there was the sound of shattering glass, and that's why I was looking.
And like it does a good job. Like that moment does a good job of being a good like in the style of Phoenix Wright, because like the Phoenix Wright style is sort of like Perry Mason-esque in that you kind of already know who the bad guy is going in a lot of the time, and it's really more about proving it.
The most evil-looking guy in the courtroom,
is probably guilty, and it's like that was a good moment in this 135-minute movie.
The first 15 minutes. So it's interesting. The first case also feels like it's kind of shot differently than the other two.
I think that's where I might have gotten the impression that they were maybe trying to take it a little bit seriously, despite the costuming.
The cinematography seems to change styles like 3 times.
Almost like they wanted to just make one part and then they shoved some plot in later. But
yeah, they like shot for multiple movies, but then some bigwig said, "Nah, just make it one thing."
You spent how much money on a steampunk hologram? You're getting one movie, kid.
Money well spent, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun fact.
It was fun.
It was ridiculous.
It's the only thing that made this not a movie of a bunch of people yelling in a courtroom, which would have been so fucking cheap to make. So,
Yeah.
why not?
Why not?
Why not? Well, I can appreciate the modicum of effort. It was fun.
Well, I mean, the appeal of Phoenix Wright is the characters fundamentally, so it kind of speaks to a level of
So Phoenix going, "Hold it," and then literally like a blinging a hologram at people.
Yeah, it's like it shows a rather clear lack of understanding of the core appeal of Phoenix Wright, because they grabbed aesthetics, did them poorly, and ignored the part that makes Phoenix Wright worth caring about.
That's exactly why I had to ask the question, because obviously myself, who haven't played the games myself, like, did they interact with the media somehow before?
No, but that's only because it's a visual novel.
Yeah.
They don't show how they interact with the evidence in the games, because it's just character portraits and dialogue.
It's
boxes.
presumed he's handing it to the judge to look at, I guess. It's kind of weird. It's not real. They decided those little screens that show the image are diegetic and need to actually exist.
Yeah.
Which is a choice.
Speaking of the characters, I think Phoenix is a pretty good cast.
Yeah, he's a good Phoenix.
Miles Edgeworth is okay, and they both look like they're just wearing cosplay rather than like
Or the character.
or trying to make their costume exist in real life.
Yeah.
And then they throw in a line at the end that seems to imply all the characters who look like they're wearing stupid fake wigs
Really
are wearing
wearing
stupid
wigs.
fake wigs.
Yeah, you called out the costuming.
That's why we're wearing the wigs of justice. Okay, so we've just given up then.
I thought it was actually like a reference to like the not the bailiffs,
The judge with the curly.
Yeah,
It is,
the powdered
but
wig.
no one's wearing that. But they all are wearing wigs, and like the audience for the court also just has a bunch of people wearing like party wigs. So
Some of them were
I
pretty
think it's canonical that they're wearing wigs.
That they're all costumes.
Except for in the flashbacks, where Miles, Larry, and Phoenix all have their stupid anime hair in this
No, that's
room
just their
of-
hair.
In
Yeah.
this room
They
of
knew
normal...
they knew they were going to be
They
lawyers.
knew they need it.
To
be fair,
this room of normal Japanese
kids.
children, we have
This protagonist, this protagonist.
silver hair McBangs, slick back.
Miles must take after his mom. I'm just saying.
You say silver hair. They did Miles dirty. He looks like he's like prematurely graying.
He does.
He looks so old. And then they hired a slightly hotter actor to be Dick Gumshoe, and that really just...
I
Yeah.
couldn't take my eyes off. I was just like, wait, why isn't he?
Like, why isn't he Edgeworth?
But yeah, no, I will say, Larry was great, though.
Larry
was great, right?
Larry understood the assignment. Larry probably
Larry felt like he was a comedian. That,
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah.
like, ah, so I'm an idiot. I gotcha.
My favorite running gag was Larry just shows up. Like, there's never an establishing shot of him walking into a scene. He's just there.
You just have to assume Larry's just in every
Yep.
scene ever.
That's Larry Butts for you. If something smells, it's probably the butts.
And I like how Phoenix acknowledges this precisely once, and then he's just like, whatever, it's Larry.
So, We completely forgot. Mia's little sister Maya's here. Don't worry, you'd be forgiven for not really noticing her in this movie. They don't give her a lot to do.
Or a personality of any kind, which I'm sure a lot of Phoenix Wright fans who are listening to this but haven't watched the movie are foaming at the mouth at this point.
She occasionally has the little, like, petulant moments that, like, I know she has from...
She has so much more personality than that.
I mean, I couldn't pin down a personality of someone who's not familiar with Maya's personality from the games, but it was just... She kind of came off as, like, some lukewarm cheerleader for...
Yeah. She barely does anything in this movie is the thing.
Yeah.
She comes in to object, but, like...
And then she's like, no, Phoenix, you can do it, you know? Think of my sister, you can do it.
Think of my sister.
Like, it was weird.
Yeah, like, like, her most iconic, like, image from the game is her, like, stamping her feet and puffing out her cheeks in this, like, little huff.
She had a few indignant moments.
Yeah, but... So, like, she's got tons of...
And then she got kicked out of the courtroom for that one part.
Oh, man. It's so funny, the moments where they kind of play it like it's a serious noir thing or, like, a courtroom drama, and then just... It's fucking whatever, man.
The judge is asleep, basically, the whole time.
Too. Like, I wanted the judge to be more doddering. Well, he doddered
like more of an idiot, but he was just an old man in this movie, which is not the same thing.
Yeah, no, the judge also has a lot of personality. Like he's a very distinct character. It's easy to tell, like, when he's like
being written right.
Yeah.
My favorite thing with the judge, which conveniently my favorite thing about Maya, was when she was jumping in to be the voice of reason and everyone had to kick her out of the courtroom. The judge was just like, "Did someone say something?" He seems unable to hear Maya, and he's just like, was that a woman talking in my courtroom?
What?
Get out!
Bailiff!
Yeah.
So the first case, they get the red white to admit to the crime, basically.
Yeah.
They really do just, the second a person says anything that could slightly indicate that they've done the crime, they're like, well, not guilty. We're going to arrest this guy now.
Yep.
Gosh, I almost don't want to compare it to the game so much, but it's usually
hard not to.
November.
The games have more time to breathe is really the big problem here. They're trying to do too much because it goes from one case to the other to the other. The most breathing room we have is when they go to Lake Gordy because Edgeworth got arrested there, so they were investigating.
Yeah.
And they meet Lotta Hart, and the subtitles are hilarious because she's way too fucking southern in the subtitles of this movie.
Well, I mean...
It is sort of interesting because, I mean, like, Phoenix Wright is a series that's always had a fun time with its localizations because Lotta is...
Eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
Eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
To be able to throw in there some, you know, regional references that perhaps just don't translate well.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, what are you going to do with, like,
Everyone does not speak standard Japanese, you know.
I think that's the problem with the first one, is one of the cases is really regional, so they were like, how do we translate this?
To say that this is a specific, like, region.
Dialect.
They made a decision that this takes place in LA.
Yeah.
Not realizing there are two more games that just confuse it. And they are stuck with that lore decision until today. So there's an amazing alternate history where in the future, LA is land connected to Japan because of global warming has opened the sea.
Amazing. But yeah, I liked a lot of Hart's subtitles. All her S's were replaced by Z's. She says that the fog is thick as grits.
Yep.
I remember that as a direct quote from the game.
No, actually, Jake, you said that the receipt with the bloody note on it was like the really good bit of evidence. What I was referring to when I said that was in this case. It's when they find Lotta's, sound-activated camera.
Oh, yeah.
And, they get the first picture, which is just like the blank fog. And then she's like, wait a minute, you're cops? I'm not going to work with... Or no, wait, you're...
Other way around.
Other way around.
Much more confusingly, the hippie is pro-police.
Yeah, the hippie is pro-cop. She's like, that Edgeworth guy killed somebody, and I trust the police, so I'm gonna go testify in court to get him put away.
No.
It's like she heard the song "Fuck the Police" and misunderstood the meaning.
Well, that's confusing, because isn't Edgeworth, in this case, is a huge proponent supporter of the police, so the police are trying
But he's been accused of murder, so...
The reason that, like... Because, like, the one thing that Gumshoe does is he goes up to Miles like, hey, really, I know... or he goes up to Phoenix like, hey, I know Miles just turned you down as his defender. As his defense attorney. But, like, he's kind of our guy, and...
No one else will take him, so...
Because he's the prosecutor that's, fucked everybody over in the defense attorney world.
No friends.
So... Please?
There's a lot that's missing from this movie because they have to just do the nuts and bolts of the case. They leave a lot of thematic elements on the floor. There is strong elements of... because it's like, obviously, in a real-world context, every single Ace Attorney case is a kangaroo court, no matter whether justice is served or not.
Yeah.
That's almost part of the joke, is that it's so absurd and stupid. But, like, one of the big major themes of particularly the original trilogy is the idea that the entire point of having the defense attorney and the prosecutor argue against each other is because what they're trying to find is the truth regardless. And the way that the system has shifted is it's caused both sides to care more about winning rather than finding out what's actually true.
Yeah.
That is so barely in there, I don't even want to give the movie credit for it.
It's very heavily punctuated, like, right at the end.
Yeah. The Ace Attorney games are a very, like, not even subtle satire and criticism of the Japanese court system.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has courts in it.
It just doesn't have the time to do any of the thematic work. Because, I mean, like, Ace Attorney is fun because it's so goofy and insane, and the characters are all cartoon caricatures, but it endures because there's more to it than its surface-level appeal.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, the cartoon characters are so funny because they're these insane people in what should be a court. But then we see the court is a bunch of people in silly wigs, and that kind of ruins
It ruins the joke.
It's all, yeah.
It makes the entire thing silly.
It's actually... Now that I thought about this during the movie, but I didn't really mention anything, but I feel like I kind of have to point it out now. I think this is another case of whoever was making this movie looked at some Ace Attorney stuff and tried to duplicate the aesthetic without understanding it at a fundamental level, because in a lot of cases... pun not intended. Actually, no, pun intended. It's fine. In a lot of the cases, especially as the game progresses and you start accumulating characters that are only relevant to, like, one case and then you move on to the next one, you'll see some of the characters from previous cases in the background as part of the court gallery. So Ace Attorney backgrounds usually start off relatively normal and then get weirder over time. Someone might have seen the weirdos in the background and presume that's just how Ace Attorney works, but, it's supposed to be a deliberate contrast of, this is supposed to be a serious court, but there are all these weirdos here. So the aesthetic was attempted and failed, and it wasn't even the primary appeal.
Yeah.
This feels like it was done by somebody who doesn't understand or like Ace Attorney.
Which is confusing, I suppose, because especially with those pieces that have such a large global following, I want to say. How? That does not make sense.
Well, this movie did well. I just, like... It's not like this was panned. It clearly tried.
But
yeah.
It's the common problem of effort was put into the wrong places.
Yeah.
That's the case for a lot of projects like this.
I will say, if I were to see a clip of this, I would go, yeah, that's Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
Is kind of the problem. I'm like, it looks like it on first glance. It's
not good.
Yeah, it's when you look deeper is where the problem lies.
Exactly. But we finish up the shooting on Gordy Lake case, and the thing...
We kind of do. They really spend the last chunk of this arguing about the... is it GL8 or DL8?
The DL6 case.
DL6, whoops. Not even close. But they argue about a completely separate case for the last chunk, which... Bold choice when you have barely any time for anything.
Yeah.
They just to speed run the Gordy Lake case so we can get to the chunk at the end of the movie. Edgeworth is accused of murder. We see the scene where like a guy shoots twice, missing Edgeworth, and then falls off a boat.
My favorite part is we see that scene because Phoenix goes to Edgeworth in the holding cell and gets him to finally admit that he'll be his lawyer. And he's like, well, if you tell me something, I'll believe you. And then the glass between him and Edgeworth kind of like fades up and starts showing Edgeworth's backstory. And I'm like, everything else has been diegetic in this movie. Does this mean they have memory glass that can tell you people's memories? Why are we doing anything else other than recording this?
Right? But it's like, okay, so bang bang, guy falls in water, Edgeworth accused of murder because a body was found the next day. We get to the actual case, and it's like, how do we prove that Edgeworth didn't do it when, all this happened? Larry comes to the rescue saying that, yeah, I was out on the lake late at night looking for something. I only heard one gunshot, though. What do you mean you only heard one gunshot? Well, I was listening to the radio on my earbuds. I really distinctly remember the DJ saying that in half an hour, Christmas Eve will be over.
Yep.
But wait, the other two shots were at midnight. There was another shot. And that's when, the picture of just fog comes back up. I felt clever for remembering that. But then it's like, okay, so there's something else here. What do we do? Now we get to the boathouse. Boathouse man.
Boathouse man, who I've never seen an actor have more sexual tension with his pet parrot.
I don't know if I got the sexual tension other than from.
Okay.
I have to say, most of the sexual tension came from my co-host, and it was weird the entire time watching this. And I'm just like, are we watching the same movie? Because I don't get the same vibes.
It's fucking the parrot.
That man looks like he fucks his parrot.
Here's the thing. The serious one over here, who overanalyzes everything, I was enjoying the joke at first, and then as the movie goes on, the parrot was named after the dead wife, and he looks longingly at the parrot. I'm like, wait a minute!
I'm just saying, I have a perverse mind. My mind did not immediately go to this man literally fucking his parrot. It was like he's just longing after the parrot because it reminds him of his wife. Guys are sick.
Column A, column B.
Y'all are sick.
But, this guy gets brought into court, and he appears to be like a complete black box. He doesn't remember his name, because he has amnesia, except for the night of the murder, conveniently. He worked in a chemical factory, and there was an accident, so he doesn't have any fingerprints. How are we going to get anything out of this guy?
The prosecutor's Von Karma, who is a perfect prosecutor who's never
done anything wrong his entire life.
He's only taken one day off 15 years ago. Isn't that weirdly the day after the DL6 case?
Yeah.
Huh, weird.
Isn't that interesting?
Also, when's he going to bring up his hot daughter? We're
Not
just
in this movie.
asking the question everyone's thinking.
Yep. So, it's like, all right, now we've got Boatman, but we can't get any information out of Boatman. What do we do? This was kind of a non sequitur. Phoenix and Mia break into boathouse, and Maya break into the boathouse. They find some stickily held together paper that
suspiciously
that says DL6 case, don't forget, and a detailed like layout of how to do the murder.
Yeah.
And then somebody tases them and they're arrested?
Yeah.
Did we ever learn who tased them?
Probably the police.
We have an implication.
Probably either the police or
Oh,
the boathouse guy. What's his actual name?
Oh,
Yanni.
It's
Yanni, yeah.
Well, it's
Yanni
not revealed yet, but yeah.
Well, the whole time Phoenix is trying to prove that the boathouse guy is Yanni.
So
Yogi.
wait, question. Does Yanni actually have amnesia then? If he had to have everything itemized?
He's faking it.
No,
Okay.
he's faking it.
We find that out at the very end of this case, but yeah. And then the whole thing is Gumshoe goes to go find the boathouse guy and his parrot because he won't leave without the parrot. And so they're stalling for time. And Phoenix is like literally speaking one syllable at a time to like drain it out.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, and then Von Karma's just like,
No.
Yeah, this is bullshit. Just end the case. And the judge is like, well, I'm gonna declare my verdict, and goes to slam his gavel down. And the blue badger mascot of the police department, obviously, reaches up, puts his hand in there, and stops the gavel from hitting, and stays up there just long enough for Gumshoe to come back with the bird and Yanni Yogi, who we find out later. And then we get a panel shot of the badger costume falling, revealing there's just a broom inside.
Who was Soup?
It never gets
Suit.
I'm so fucking confused.
It never gets explained or even like.
Was it Mia's ghost?
It's not even that it was never explained. Nobody even addresses that it happened.
Like, this is Phoenix Wright. It could easily be a ghost inhabited something.
Yeah.
Like, that's... But they don't...
They don't even address it.
Yeah.
Who was Mascot Suit?
I mean, Mia shows up in the case later, so maybe it was her, but they don't
Maybe.
explicitly say it, so it's weird.
It was the spirit of justice.
Ace Attorney 6.
So, anyway, we cross-examine a bird. We learn that Boathouse Man is Yanni Yogi, the guy who was accused of the...
Because we cross-examine a parrot, and the parrot starts saying, I love you, Yanni. And he's just like, only one person in this entire world's name is Yanni. Goddamn, you got me.
Well, the parrot does also, like,
Start
speak
saying
his social security
bank account numbers.
Your social security number is...
My wife's birthday is January 6th. I don't consent to this.
Damn it. So...
Why were the pages stuck together? That's what I'm asking.
Bird shit literally everywhere.
The bird shits so much on the stand.
It's very funny.
And when Phoenix holds the parrot and looks lovingly into its eyes.
His eyes say, please don't shit
It's
on
very-
me. Please don't.
And the bird does shit slightly on his suit is the funniest part.
Yes. So, Yanni is just like, yeah, I wanted to get revenge for being unjustly sent to prison 15 years ago. So, I burned off my fingertips with hydrochloric acid, killed the defense attorney who failed me all those years ago, and then pinned it on Edgeworth. Okay, cool. Yeah, case solved. Why is there 40 minutes left in the movie?
Because we've got to do the rest of the first Ace Attorney game, which is where it's revealed that Von Karma was the one, but it's...
Because someone sent the gun and hydrochloric acid to Yanni Yogi.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. So here's the thing I'm going to try to sort this out. At the very beginning of the movie, Yanni Yogi is accused of murder.
By Maya and Mia's mom.
Here's the thing. That happens after... Well, because...
That's in the court case.
She's channeling Edgeworth's dad, who says, Yanni Yogi killed me.
Yep.
But the only reason that Edgeworth Sr. and Yanni were in the same room was...
He was accused of murder twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there was an initial murder that Von Karma wanted to pin on him...
to maintain his perfect prosecution. Okay. So
It's very convoluted and didn't need to be this
Yanni has 2 murder charges against him.
Yeah.
That clears up everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is functionally the same thing. Okay, so this is the hilarious thing. It's a movie. It has less time to work with than a video game. Why did you make it more convoluted? Ace Attorney is already famously convoluted. But yeah, it's functionally the same thing. Von Karma tried to prosecute an innocent person. In this version, the big problem is it's like the defense attorneys are like, we can't get you a not guilty verdict, so plead insanity. And Von Karma didn't. And like the worst part is the movie never like explicitly addresses this. The only reason why I know this as surely as I do, because it's like it's kind of implied in the movie, but it's not actually stated. The reason why Von Karma gets mad enough to do any of this is because he wanted to convict Yanni Yogi on a murder charge, but couldn't, so he fakes a gun possession charge to get him locked up anyway. And like that's the thing that is like the forged evidence that sets the chain of events into motion, blah, 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 locked in an elevator, even though they weren't in an elevator.
This last case is the most, like, the movie was struggling for time.
Yeah.
Because half of what Jacob just said is not addressed in the movie because it might not even be canon to the movie universe. Like,
I only know Von Karma's... Because, like, Von Karma has no motivation to do almost any of the things that he does in the movie Unless you consider the game logic.
I think the movie just hinges, he is a perfect prosecutor. He cannot stand to lose a case.
Yeah.
So he needs to win even if he has to forge evidences.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where it's like all of the stuff is strictly there, but it's so lacking in context that I'm taking context from a different source, which may or may not even be canon.
Yeah, so I'm just going to speedrun us through the convoluted nonsense here. Basically, Miles admits to killing his dad at the end of the last case, so they have a case about that. The DL6 case, the person who killed Gregory Edgeworth was Miles, because Miles picked up the gun and was with his dad and shot his dad. However, what he doesn't understand is he threw the gun and the gun accidentally discharged and shot out through the door of the evidence room, which coincidentally hit Von Karma, who was sitting out there watching. And Miles thinks he killed his dad because his dad did get shot, but not by him.
And little kid Edgeworth passed out because he got clocked on the head at one point in the fight.
Yep.
In the fight, in the like kung fu battle that happens in the evidence locker for some reason.
Which is even more baffling because he didn't realize that Edgeworth didn't realize his son was there, but somehow...
No, he eventually did.
No, Edgeworth knew his son was there. That's why he falsely accused Yanni Yogi of...
No, I'm saying, like, how did the son get clocked in the head? Like, who did what?
Because...
Ghosts.
So the way it worked was... The way it worked is Gregory Edgeworth was going into... He suspected that Von Karma was doing something fucky.
Yeah.
So he went into the evidence locker to get the gun and do more investigation. Mm-hmm. Yanni Yogi, for whatever reason, goes into...
it is the other... It is Gregory Edgeworth's boss.
No, it is... That's what I thought. It's like Yanni Yogi is not even in the scene they're accusing. And so it makes no sense.
I was so confused.
And so their point is they're having this fight or whatever, and then who pushes...
So, right. So it was Gregory's boss. Gregory's boss goes in there. He's like, what are you doing?
Don't tamper with evidence.
Yeah, he thinks that Edgeworth is going to forge evidence.
Yeah.
So they get in a kung fu fight.
Yeah.
Miles had followed his dad down into the evidence locker and was watching the fight. Yeah, and he was like...
Dad,
get away from my dad, and runs to go help with the fight. He bites Boss, and then Boss throws him, and he whacks his head on a shelving unit.
And then when he picks up, he has a memory of picking up the gun and pointing it. He throws it, and hearing the gun go off and having been hit previously, he passes out from the strain of it at that. As soon as the gun goes off, he's conked out.
We find out though, Von Karma got shot with the bullet, and conveniently, the very next day, he took the only sick day he's ever taken in his entire tenure off. Because
I wonder why. Because he got shot
in the shoulder and just let a bullet sit in him for 15 years, which they determine with a
dollar store metal detector.
Larry Butt's metal detector. And
full circle.
TM.
And the judge seems to be a step away from ordering this man to get surgery to remove the bullet.
To match the ballistics. Which, to be fair, a lot of this is actually, directly lived... not for nothing, the reason that you like the 3 photo... there being 2 shots but 3 photos, the reason you like that so much is because that's lifted directly from the game. Yeah. And a bunch of the stuff happening here is also lifted directly from the game, but it's so much more nonsensical because it's rushed for time.
And it's...
So anyway, he's like, well, you can't do that, Von Karma, obviously, because... Go ahead, check the gun. Gumshoe comes in. The gun is missing! This is like, well, can't prove it. I'm out of here. And the entire time, I'm just like, see, this is a problem I have with Ace Attorney. In order to accuse someone of a crime, if you weren't accused initially, you have to prove so much shit. Yeah. Whereas, I don't know, she was in the same room. What motive would she have to kill her sister? I don't know.
Meanwhile, anyone else is life in jail. Boom.
Meanwhile, Von Karma's like, what motive would you have for this? Well, professional,
grudges.
A lot of things is you don't have an explicit motive? Well, guess you can't prove it. And I'm like, damn.
Even if you did surgically remove this bullet from me, assuming that it hasn't had any wear from being inside my body for 15 years, the gun is gone, so you can't compare the rifling. Aha. But we have... the bullet that killed Gregory Edgeworth.
Because Mia found it and shoved it in this thinker clock. Notice why it's been on the stand with us in every case, even though it's not necessary?
The evidence was in the clock.
All along.
Mm-hmm.
Mia solved this crime.
We see, it's not a clock anymore. It's an evidence holder.
Yes. The bullet was shoved up the thinker's butt cheeks.
Yep. And then Mia shows up in Maya's body at the very end, which is the only reason I think Maya's in this movie.
Yes. So Von Karma is convicted. I guess
He has his breakdown, and they do it by doing what look like jump cut mistakes.
It was upon Jacob pointing it out, I knew what they were doing. It looked bad.
Yeah, it looked like a mistake.
I thought it was a visual glitch the first time they did it. Once they started doing it more and like cutting it to his actual dialogue, I'm like, I see.
And like the thing is, they changed the cinematography style like 3 times. At one point earlier in that same case, they did this thing where they were like, whoa, orbiting around the actors while they're thinking. Mm-hmm. There's at one point, for no discernible reason, a handheld, like, found footage camcorder shot when Larry jumps up in the crowd and goes, whoa!
Whoa!
And the camera just moves from Phoenix's desk up to him and then focuses in like this is in Cloverfield.
Yep.
Choices were made.
Choices were made.
Choices were made.
So yeah, Von Karma has his crash out. He admits to the crime, basically. He admits that he always wanted to fuck the parrot too.
See,
yeah,
again,
the
only sexual tension I'm getting is from my co-host here. Like, this is weird.
I don't know. I saw it too.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, see. I think Jay's just wrong.
Just saying, you guys just are very open about this bestiality thing that I'm just not seeing.
No, it's only the villains who want to fuck the parrot.
Exactly.
I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
That's what this entire movie is about. It is examining the inherent villainy of bestiality.
So, thus brings us to the end of our movie. Wait, did something happen after Von Karma's crash out? I mean, they kind of have a...
Yes.
They have a montage while the credits
they
play.
Have a moment. Miles and
and
Phoenix have a moment.
They have their now kiss moment that happens in every game.
And then Larry outs himself for being the rascal who started the whole lunch money thief thing.
Yeah, because their whole backstory.
$40 of lunch money.
That's, like, if you're, like, 6, like, little elementary school, like, yeah, that's odd.
Yeah, they shoved the Miles Edgeworth Phoenix backstory in there about, like, he was accused of a crime, and that's why he became a defense attorney.
And then Maya has her tragic, like, bye-bye,
she has
farewell
journey. And they frame her goodbye, like, very seductively, and I'm like...
I didn't pick up on that at all. Where's this coming from?
Yeah,
I wasn't a particular fan of that characterization in Ace Attorney 2 either.
It's just like, oh, Phoenix. I've always loved you, and then it's like, Phoenix is I just want you to be clear. I had a thing for your older sister.
Yeah.
You are 8 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm. We're not doing this.
Which actually, confusingly, what was the age gap between you and your sister? Because this movie seems to think it's 2 years.
They look about like 3 or 4 years separate.
Actually, yeah.
Do we?
Because when we
does the movie say how old Maya is?
Actually, no.
They might have aged her up.
Yeah.
I'm just going off the actresses like they picked for when they were children. It looked like she was maybe like 3 or 4 years different.
There was like a 3-year age
taller.
gap at mix.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, like, they don't, I mean, there are a couple of, like, anytime it's like a significant, like set of years, because it's like they keep the 40 years for Von Karma, they keep the 15 years for the DL6 incident, because those are the ones where it's like that gets referenced in internally in Ace Attorney a lot.
To current case, but at the time subtract 15 from that, he was trying to protect his 25 years,
which they don't really acknowledge, but like those are like, if it's a distance of time that's like explicitly mentioned multiple times in the Ace Attorney, again, it's one of those ones where it's like, this is somebody who did some research on Ace Attorney to do this movie. That's not someone who knew it like at the jump.
Yeah.
Because they're pulling at like well-known aesthetics associated with the movie. That's why it looks good at a glance. That's why the clips work, but the whole absolutely does not.
Yeah. Anyway, over the credits, they show that Miles and Phoenix have gone on to continue being prosecutor and defense attorney, and they
boyfriends.
Boyfriends. And they show the Jammin' Ninja case from 2. I think 2, or is that in...
I don't...
It might be one of the first cases of 3, I can't remember.
I don't remember either. I just know it's one of the ones in the middle, and...
Yeah.
That's dirty pool. My methods do not violate the law, but they seem to have violated you, Mr. Wright.
They 100% did that case just so they could have, well, what do you make of this, Wright? And Edgeworth pulls out a guitar and strums it.
But I love my methods appear to have violated you, Mr. Wright. What do you have to say? And then Miles just has a look on his face like, that's my rival.
I ship them.
So yeah.
They're having a potato party right now.
Everybody does.
So yeah, mercifully that brings us to the end of this.
Favorite character, favorite case. Favorite character is Larry Butts. Favorite case is Larry Butts.
That is accurate. Ditto on my end.
I'd say Larry is the best.
Larry
is the most because it's like Phoenix is second in that category, but the most Phoenix Wright-esque character that they were able to translate into was Larry, and he was just fun outright. I mean, like Larry is a fun character.
Larry feels weird amongst the cast. Everyone else kind of just blends into the like general weirdness. And kind of no one stands out, which is kind of Phoenix Wright's whole thing, is characters jumping out of serious situations.
Usually they needed the director needed to speak up and say, I need y'all to like step up to Larry's level.
Ooh, actually on that note, I'll break from this. Lotta Hart was my favorite.
Yeah.
She went insane, and then, actually no, the parrot was my favorite, you're right.
Oh my god, see, this is what I mean. The sexual tension is coming from inside the house.
Well, that boathouse was very sticky.
Oh, okay.
Wrong.
So we've got that. We've already said basically everything else we want to say about the production of the film, and our thoughts on the plot. So, do you think it's going to get a sequel? And if it does, will you watch it?
Might have a sequel. I didn't actually look this up.
Me neither.
I
the best preparation here on the Over Manga Cast.
I don't care if it has a sequel because my answer is an emphatic no.
I don't want to watch more of this.
That movie was the worst kind of one. Like we make the joke about suffering through this, and quite frankly, we found some actual gems amongst all of this garbage.
We've suffered through things that aren't this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
This was just kind of bland.
This is the worst kind of bad because it's not even funny bad. It was just bad.
It was just like...
It was mundanely bad.
It was... I know what they were going for. It was an okay plot. It was just... Yeah.
Poorly executed.
Yeah.
I would watch a sequel.
Okay.
Just for more Phoenix and Miles?
Yeah.
I want the Apollo Justice sequel.
Yeah, there we go. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
Oh my god, it's been so many years since this originally came out. They could do like an in-universe like time skip.
Yeah. Hobo Phoenix.
Hobo Phoenix. Oh no, that means Trixie's back.
And this brings us to the end of our show. Thank you everybody once again for tuning into the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast.
You can also find us on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. We also have overmangacast.com that has a comment section. You can give us recommendations, tell us what you think of the movie, tell us about your experience with Phoenix Wright. We love hearing from you.
And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all forms. We don't take recommendations on live-action anime movies because this is fucking torture. Speaking of which, Sam, what are we watching in the second half of No Read November?
Yes, thankfully our new schedule means we have to do less of these, thank God. But we are going to be watching Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead.
Oh, I'm not hopeful for that one.
I guess we'll see. And so if you're keeping up with the show, watch that if you want. And we'll see you all in 2 Thursdays. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Objection!
Overruled.
Sustained.